This is my new bike. The CB400 is gone. I traded it and got this. It's a 2011 Kawasaki W800. Sort of the classic looking bike or retro bike, whatever you want to call it. It's standard. I did get some saddlebags and a rack with it, but I've taken them off for just normal riding. Looks a lot cleaner without it. It's an air-cooled 773cc parallel twin with bevel-driven cam. You can see that's what the shaft on the side there is for. Goes up to the top of the head to drive the camshaft. It is fuel injected. Big plus, I don't really like carbies. Sort of can't really tell from this side on unless you look closely and see the wiring. Very nice bike, only one previous owner and he kept very good care of it. It's still very shiny, you'd think it was brand new. What else about this bike? Single disc on the front and a drum rear. Stops okay. The bike's not about performance really. You need stronger brakes. You're probably riding this bike too quickly. Two-seater, very nice classic looking seat. British Racing green, which I think was the only colour you could get in Australia in that year model. Very nice quality on this bike. Tank pads on the side. Nice badging on the side there. A lot of things on this bike are metal where you think would be plastic, like that is metal. Even all the switch gear, that's all metal. The gauges look very good, very retro, but still keeping all of the information you need. It only has a tacho and a speedometer, but you got your oil light, low fuel light, you got a clock and trip meter and that in there, which is all you need for a basic bike really. Doesn't have a fuel gauge, just the fuel light. There's no temperature gauge as well, being air cooled, but I will be fitting an oil temperature gauge in this spot here. They make a little gauge that sits there, just picks up the temperature from inside the engine case there. Only going to do a few small things to the bike. I've got a tuner on the way that just plugs into the standard harness. Now deletes the O2 sensor, which is in the middle under there. A bit hard to see here, but it's in there. And would like to get a aftermarket exhaust one day, but that's a bit pricey, so I might wait a bit for that. Probably the only thing I don't like about this bike standard is on this side of the motor you've got this very awkward looking plate. You can see all their fuel injection stuff, which I don't want to see. I want to make it look like it's carby still. And then on this side you've got a nice polished cover which hides a lot of the fuel injection stuff. So I don't know what happened there. It looks like it's a bit of a miscommunication. As you can see from the top, it looks a bit awkward, but I've got another cover coming. And that's about the only thing I don't like about it. Everything else is great. It says it's not a speed demon, it has a lot of torque. Revs to 7, maybe a bit over 7, but doesn't need to rev any higher than that. You just ride the torque, change another gear. 5-speed box. What else can I say? Probably the biggest thing will be spending time keeping it clean. The previous owners put this bit of a mud flap on the front tyre, which is a good thing because it stops a lot of stuff hitting the exhaust in front of the motor. So yeah, I hope to get a bit of a riding video a bit later on. The weather looks a bit poor at the moment. It's start it up and hear how quiet the standard exhaust is. That's the standard exhaust with just a couple little holes drilled. Nothing major, I don't really want to ruin the standard exhaust, so I'll just buy an aftermarket one. So it sounds a lot different to my CB404, but it's a bit of a different style of bike. Gear-driven cams, similar to what my RVF400 had. That had gear-driven cams, just this one has a shaft to join the gears together. The other thing I've done is just pulled the snorkel out of the airbox. It's a bit questionable if it actually makes it any better. The induction noise is increased, but it seems a little bit livelier. I'll have to do a bit more back-to-back testing just to see for sure. Might just be in my head. But yeah, I hope to do some more videos soon.